Basically, in this small town of Rittman, we had gravel roads, cinder roads, I guess you'd call them. And when school was out, normally we didn't have enough money to buy shoes, extra shoes or whatever. So we would run out in the cinder road, and within 2 weeks or so, our feet were tough. Okay? Now, about a mile out of town, there was a stream with a little pool in it. And we used to go out there and swim, naked, And sometimes the girls would, I don't know how old they were, but they would creep up and take a look at us. So I don't know. When I was like 14 years old, we lived in Kansas City about 4 blocks from the main street where the trolley car was, and also the drugstore. And so I got a job in the drugstore, being what do they call it? a soda jerk. And I did actually learn how to make malted milks and everything like that, but also at the same time, at nighttime, I would deliver on my bicycle liquor and so forth down on Troost Avenue, what they call that, and so forth. And made fairly good money. I remember that. After I was like 15 years old, I used to work where my dad worked, which was the Ohio Box Company. And the place that I worked at was with all foreign, most of them were foreign ladies, Russia and so forth, Hungary. And I used to work very hard, but they used to tease me and chase me around that place.
Why?
At the time, I don't know. Well, women, at that time I didn't like it, but later on I thought, oh, that was all right. Somewhere in there, I went to Paseo High School, which was about 4 or 5 blocks from the house. And I know I always told my kids that I had to walk 2-3 miles but I didn't. They believed me for a while until they went there and saw it. I worked, I've always worked, I guess, since I was maybe even 7 years old. I used to have a paper route, more or less, for a while. But at that time, somewhere in between, I think it was my senior year, I must have bought a car. And it was a Pontiac convertible, kind of a tan color, I believe. And I was one of about 3 guys that actually had a car in school or anything, However, I never took advantage of that. Even though Pat says I didn't. Okay. My brothers, Willard my older one was 3 years older than I was, and then Wally was 2 years older than he was. Our family life was not really a family life. I really didn't do much with my brothers, period. We just didn't do anything. The bad thing was that when I went to high school, the teachers would always say, "Oh, why aren't you more like your brother Wally?" Or Willard, or Bill, William. Yeah, that's it. That's what my mom used to say. She used to start with Wally, William, Wayne, and get it. Okay. Back there in 1945, we were at war with Japan and Germany, and I was a senior in high school, okay? And they had a special program for seniors if you were not quite, if you were 18, and I was 18 at the time, and we could go into the Navy Air Corps, okay, and sign up for how many ever years, I don't know. And if we signed up, normally you start out as Seaman 3rd class, but we were special, so we would start out at Seaman 2nd class, which was still, I remember we got $20 every 2 weeks. I remember that.